a bit of nepotism here this afternoon. Before the break, you heard my husband, you heard my chairperson, and now it's me as CEO of Yes. But hopefully we get the message through that there's a way to climb out of this growth trap. I'm not going to give you the economist's view. I'm going to give you a very pragmatic way in which every one of you in this room, how you can say yes and why you should say yes. So this economy is decidedly pear-shaped, literally and figuratively. We have this youth bulge, which is a big chunk of our population, and between 18 and 35. We're looking at about 35% of the population, but they exist in a very lopsided economy. This very embarrassing cover of Time magazine, which came out earlier this year, calls us the most unequal country on the planet. And this is why these young people are locked out of the economy. There aren't pathways for them to participate. And so if we look at this youth bulge, there's a very small number of young people between 18 and 35 that are actually participating in the economy. And why is this a problem? Because young people coming into an economy are supposed to be what we call our tidal wave of growth, our demographic dividend. When you have lots of young people coming into an economy and they're working, that's when your growth rates spike. But we've got 1 million young people coming into the economy every year, and they're not finding jobs. In places like Bushbuckridge, female unemployment is up to 73% in the youth category. Here's more stickiness. 56% of these young people entering the labor force every year don't have a matric certificate. How do they tell employers? How do they tell banks, invest in me, I can do things? They have no currency. And this is where the Youth Employment Service comes in. We're here to give them a trampoline. We're here to say, we will help launch you into the world of work. Get that year of skills, get that year of experience, get a CV, get a reference letter. A woman is 3 times or double the likelihood to get a job within 3 months of search if she has a reference letter. All employers want, all banks want, is to see some kind of currency that they recognize that this is a person worth investing in. We're here because the previously disadvantaged are still disadvantaged. And we needed a big national program while we're waiting for the education system to be fixed, while we're waiting for the governor's or the Minister Mbowene's plan to be implemented. While we're waiting, there are 6 million young people sitting out there. These are your future customers, your future employees, the future custodians of the economy, and they're just sitting there. Not in employment, not in education, not in training. And I know Stephen talks a lot about growth, and I've showed him this graphic before. Even when South Africa grows, we don't create enough employment opportunities. So we have to do more than growth to get those young people into those jobs. We've got to go the extra mile. We've got huge supply of youth. They're far from the jobs, and the jobs that are in demand are highly skilled. So how do we create a national mechanism where every business, big and small, says, I will figure out a way to pull from this pool and give these people a chance to show what they can do? And it's in all of your interest. This lopsidedness in the economy we talk about, this is the tax picture. 3% of our population, 3%, are contributing 80% of personal income tax. This is certainly not sustainable, especially for the beautiful social grant system that we talk about. If we want to be able to help people out of poverty, we've got to get more people into the economy. It's that simple. Give a person a wage, let them become contributors and participants in the economy. What we need is more bites out of that pear. We need our bulge to be working. We need inclusive economic participation. And Yes is doing this. In the past 8 months, together with Business South Africa, and I want a clap for this number, 20,539 new jobs have been created. What that means is over R1 billion, well over R1 billion has been put into the economy through the salaries of these young people. And we've just started. Every single one of you can join. Every single one of you can contribute to this, whether it's one person or 10, or 1,250 or 3,300 that Nedbank did. Okay. If you hire a young person at minimum wage, under 6,000 Rand, you can get 1,000 Rand back on your ETI employment tax incentive. So you can give that young person a chance for 2,500 Rand a month. So here's the 10 reasons. I'll run through them quickly. Please do not think this isn't your problem if you live in this country. Inequality and unemployment is not going to sort itself out miraculously. Every one of us has to be involved. Being a citizen is not a spectator sport. Get involved. Everyone has to country build. By the way, our unemployment rate is double Tunisia's before the Arab Spring. And the outcomes we see on the streets of Gauteng in the past few days should be no surprise. This is what happens when young people don't have pathways and don't have hope. You, and only you, as Business South Africa, can stop the slide to junk status. If you invest in youth jobs, we have something to give back to you. You can get BEE levels up. Invest in youth jobs and your business can move up that scorecard. We've done 36 companies who already have their BEE levels up. Over 500 companies are registered for yes. There's some examples, Oracle, Johnson & Johnson, Celsey, we've got a list of them that are benefiting from the BEE. So do it for BEE levels up. Create future taxpayers. We need them. 3% of the tax base paying is not good enough. And here's one I love. This is my favorite one. Neuroscience tells us what the secret to great happiness is. Anybody know this literature? Do you know what makes our happy centers light up? Giving. It's that simple. We're wired to give. So create a youth job and be part of a giving culture towards a common good. And there are great ways to give through yes. You can invest in youth jobs. You can invest through enterprise development in these beautiful hubs that we're putting up in townships and rural spaces, bringing this education and skills Stephen's talking about right into the heart of the community. In these hubs, we've got people learning aquaponics and hydroponics, how to take the land back with technology, urban farmers, digital coding programs going on here. Sanitary pad production. We have 12 young women who are going to own a company that's producing pads in Tembisa. We just need a little bit of imagination and we need you to contribute, and together this is the kind of thing we can do. Deutsche Bank's youth are in Tembisa. They're becoming scientists. They're being trained with just a matric in jobs that they would never have been able to access before. So we can do this. We can do things cleverly. Here's one of the blossom manufacturers. This is our agripreneur, Moss. He exports beautiful organic lettuce from Tembisa to the local grill and to other organic buyers around Johannesburg. And he's teaching another 25 urban farmers how to do aquaponics training. These are some of our programs. So I know that a lot of you are doing things. Every time we go to a company, they say we're doing things. But we do operate in silos. The only way we're going to shift this needle is if we act as a coalition, if we act in collaboration, we work on a platform, and we get scaled, amplified, exponential impact. And that's what you can do as a crowd. Here's this map. Yes, jobs, because they happen, many of them happen through implementation partners. Investec, the youth Stephen talked about, are not hired inside Investec. We have implementation partners in communities that roll the jobs out. One of our partners works with Nomzamo Health. 57 youth in Mpumalanga have been trained as community health workers. They've already visited over 1,000 households and counseled over 4,000 patients, 57 youth. Diabetes screening, hypertension, getting people to go for HIV counseling and testing, teaching moms how young kids should wash their hands, nutrition, So that little youth job has multiple impacts if we put it in the right place. And what you see here is a map of where yes jobs are across the country. Through these implementation partners, we start taking the skewing, this wealth that is concentrated in our urban centers, and we start to spread it through these implementation partners to community level. So what you can do by joining is you can give that young person this all-important chance to show the world what they can do. Volkswagen opened up 560 jobs over and above what they needed. Some of the jobs were put in dealerships across the country. Vuyani Henry, who'd been unemployed, only has a matric, went to this dealership in Paarl and started teaching them how to do things. He went home on the weekends and worked. He went to Stokvel meetings, church gatherings, took people by the hand who were interested in car buying, got them credit checks. This young guy has sold 3 cars already. Okay, because he thought about how to do things differently, and he was innovating. This is what young energy can do in your business. And they all say, I can't get a job without experience, and I can't get experience without a job. You can give that to them. This is Adrian's slide, GDP growth and company earnings. The big picture, guys, is if GDP growth doesn't move, your company can't move. How do you grow the economy, give people jobs, get them in, let them learn a skill, let them become participants? Reason 9, if you don't have a country, you do not have a company. That is the long-term picture, bottom line. And the final reason you should say yes in perfect time is because saying no is the cost of your future. I started with a pear shape. If you say yes, we can go from pear-shaped to peachy.